It's a winter night. You are coming home by train. You have to change trains at a small train station in the middle of the forest. It's not the first time you've traveled this route, but now you feel like something is different, as if something was watching you. The train stops at the station where you need to make a transfer. It's a dark and cold night, but fortunately, you only need to wait a few minutes for the next train. As you grab the handle, you discover that the door is locked, preventing you from getting inside. Smoke a cigarette. You retrieve a pack of cigarettes, and after a moment, you inhale the acrid smoke, feeling its sharpness fill your lungs. Surrounded by darkness, your gaze fixates on the sole source of the light, an aged orange lamp. There's something strangely hypnotic about the way it glows. Suddenly, your attention is seized by a subtle movement occurring right beside it. The great moth bounces against the lamp in its mad dance. Despite what you thought, someone besides you is also waiting at this station. Do not approach. You see the man walking away into the darkness surrounding the station after a while. You're standing at the station. Oddly enough, you start to feel the warmth on your face. It's like the bright summer sun is shining. It reminds you of a holiday, past trips, wonderful, warm days without worries. It's summer, the sun is shining bright. People are walking around the station, waiting for their trains. In the distance, you see your mother calling you with a smile on her face. The forest surrounding the station smells like holidays and freedom. You watch the train go by. You wonder where they're going. You are walking towards your mother. It's time to get on a train. What a colorful bird. For a moment, you watch a small bird hopping around for food in the grass. Your mother's voice snaps you out of your thoughts. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a man waving at you. Get on the train. Something is making you vaguely anxious. Are you sure you want to get on the train? No. As you get closer, you see that something is wrong. Your mom isn't getting on the train. She stares at you. Her eyes turn black. The cold of the void oozes from them. You feel that the void is hungry. The whole world around you fades. Darkness and cold devour the summer day. You're not a kid anymore. You understand that. It's just you and those burning eyes in the skull of some creature. A wall of unhuman fear grows between you. Hunger, hunger, hunger. You don't hear anything, but you know what the creature is thinking. You know what this being feels. Uncontrollable, overwhelming hunger. It'll all come down to just those empty eyes and the feeling of hunger. You feel as if you are surrounded by black wings that separate you from the rest of the world. It engulfs you as if you were the property of this inhuman being. When you open your eyes, clenched in horror, you see that you are standing at the station again. Same place, same night, same winter. You see footprints in the snow. Something bad is going on here. Something very bad. You don't want to be alone. You don't know why, but you follow a strange man straight into the forest. Complete darkness surrounds you strangely quickly. Suddenly, you realize you don't know where you are. You feel panic rising. You wander in the dark, not knowing where to go. You notice something dispelling the darkness. However, something is entirely different. Just a moment ago, it was winter. Now, you feel a sticky warmth on your skin, surrounded by the suffocating stench of decay. A dark forest surrounds you. The trees, like fingers of corpses, seem to close in above you. You have no idea what's happening or where you are, but you know one thing: death has taken absolute control in this place. You see dark silhouettes wandering slowly through the trees. Do you see smaller and larger figures, maybe adults and children? You've had enough of it all. Maybe they can explain something to you. You come out of the trees and approach a group of figures. Hi, hello. You are approaching, calling out. The figures seem to notice your presence. A few of them stop, listening and sniffing strangely. You come closer, and then they turn around. They have no face. They are all like patches of blackness in the darkness of the forest. Instead of faces, they have gaping holes filled with a cold, dead glow. They are slowly approaching you. You want to run, but you trip and fall to the ground. You see them getting closer. With every step they take, your own thoughts fade away. Your mind is filled with screaming, horrible, terrifying, inhuman screaming. The screams of dozens, hundreds of throats ripped with unimaginable suffering. You know you can't hear this cacophony anywhere but in your head, as if this sick concert was just for you. It intensifies every moment the wraiths come close to you. When they are at your fingertips, you are flooded with such a wave of ghostly screams that you lose sight of the whole world. You fall unconscious. You wake up in complete darkness. You're walking through the dark. You feel like you're not in charge of your own footsteps. It turns out that you arrive at the same place again. To that weird, nightmarish train station. You grab the handle. This time, the door is open. You enter its dark interior. At first, you see nothing, but then you start to see some outlines. The chairs in the waiting room are covered with something like cobwebs, but this one here is much thicker and kind of moist. Its appearances reminds you of sinews and meat. The floor is covered with thick layers of dark, sticky dirt. You have no idea what it could be, but maybe you'd rather not know. As you cross the narrow entrance into the station, you almost lose your footing. First, there's the smell, a fetid, almost incapacitating wave of rot and corruption. And then you see it. Your mind can't take it. You see dozens, maybe hundreds of bodies tangled in incomprehensible and anatomical chaos. You don't know where one man begins and the next ends. It's like one, and at the same time, you feel that there are many different people here. Even what you thought was part of the architecture seems to be something alive. Everything reminds you of the inside of some nightmare body. A sticky, damp, yellowish mist hangs in the thick air. When you look closer, you see not only fragments of human bodies, but also something that is not human. You can't look away. You see more and more details. Strange, disturbing, terrifying details. In the chaos of tangled bodies, you also see something else. The body of something that is not human. Everything moves gently and slowly to the rhythm of the slow beating of barely living hearts, to the rhythm of wheezing, hoarse breaths. You get the impression that the bodies somehow notice your presence. They feel your gaze. They're moving faster and faster. They crawl in a web of sinews that wrap around them. Intertwined bodies rise above the floor. A creature dripping with something you can't name emerges from between the bodies. It knows about your presence. You stand there, paralyzed with horror, as it turns its face towards you. You want to scream, but you can't. You want to run, but you can't move. The creature stares at you with a penetrating gaze. You feel that look devouring up your soul, devouring up who and what you are. You already know it's too late. That thing becomes your ruler, the ruler of your body. You are a servant. You are the victim. You wake up suddenly, drenched in sweat. Other train passengers look at you with embarrassment. Were you screaming or talking in your sleep? You look around, panicked, but slowly reality wins out. You begin to understand that what you saw and experienced was just a nightmare. Incredibly realistic and clear, but only a dream. You calm your breath and adjust yourself in your place. It's just a dream, nothing more. There's nothing to be afraid of. That strange feeling of some inhuman presence at the edge of your consciousness is surely just a remnant of that dream. Like that irritating feeling of someone whispering in your ear, but so softly that you can't understand anything. Everything will pass when you wake up completely. Everything is fine. That's right.